You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
It is good to be back for 2023. Pumped. I just want to talk about a little trip that my wife and I did. It's the first time that we went to Vietnam. And
did you love it?
It was amazing. It's such a beautiful country. So I'm just going to give you just a couple of things that happened on our trip, Sarah. When we first got there, we flew to Bangkok first. So we went to Indonesia first, and Thailand first. We went there first, and we were going to do the Bangkok markets.
Yeah, you love those.
Which is huge. The big weekend market. So we're there for a couple of days in Bangkok. And when you do these markets, they are so big that it takes you 2 days to go through them. And there's massage parlours everywhere, right? So you are so buggered from walking around all day that this guy said, do you want to come in and we can massage your feet? And you walk into this room, Sarah, and there would be 30 of these comfy chairs. You sit down and they massage your feet and your legs from walking all day. And I had this beautiful old lady, and she would have been, I reckon, 65 years of age, and it was quite hot in there. And you know what? There was a moment where I'm thinking to myself, this lady is massaging my feet, and I felt sort of uncomfortable that she was doing it.
Because your feet would have stunk and been sweaty, and you've had a footy career. Those things are like hoofs.
She was laughing with this friend that she had next to her, and there was a boss lady there, and I think that they were having a go at the boss lady, right?
No, they were laughing at your feet.
I didn't understand what they were saying. But you know what? At the end of it, Sarah, I felt, you know what? I just really want to look after this lady for what she's done. So what I did, because I knew that I didn't want to give I was going to give her 1,000 baht, which was about $40-50, right?
Yeah.
And this was a tip for her. And I didn't want it to go to the boss lady. So I said to this lady, just secretly, I just said to her, here's 1,000 baht. That's for you. That's just for you. I pointed at her. That's just for you. And there was this pause. MDG, you will love this. There was this pause, and she looks up at me and she goes, and I thought she was about to cry. And she goes, you want to go upstairs?
I was going to say, in a massage parlour, giving someone a tip of that size.
I was like, no, it's for you. It's not for boss lady. It's for you.
Why did you say no?
What? She'd already worked on his bunions. The day was over.
She's gone, well, it can't get any worse than this. For that to be a highlight, for that to be a step up for her is such a sad state of her day.
So then, okay, so we leave.
So you've had a great time in Bangkok. Got it.
So we leave, and then we go to the airport to go to Hanoi. We're on our way to Vietnam, which is only an hour and a half flight. It's not that much, but because it's into another country, you've got to go to the international airport. And had no idea. And 1324 Ted, I'd love to hear from people, but Vietnam have a visa system. It's exactly the same as the US.
Yes, they do.
So we rock up, and I'm just like, yeah, here's our name. We just want to go in. And they said, where's your visa? And I said, oh, no, don't have one. And she said, well, you got to apply for it. And I said, all right, give me the forms. I'll fill them out. She goes, no. You've got to go onto the website.
Oh, God.
And I said, well, how long does that take? And she said, well, it could be 2 days. It could be 2 weeks. And we're at the airport. Now, this would happen to people because I didn't know that there were certain... I thought the US and maybe some other countries that did it, but there are certain Asian countries that do this.
Yeah, Bali, you need a visa.
I reckon you thought, America, it's a lot of people want to go to America, so they'll need one. But Vietnam, they'll just be glad to have us.
Oh, exactly right.
I knew you'd think that.
So there was this moment where I was looking at BJ going, we're stuck here. We can't get out. You actually go onto the website, though, and this is where
there's a donation system.
This is where it's quite smart, Sarah, where, okay, you can apply for your visa. It might take up to 2 weeks to get back. That's for free. Or if you want to get it done in, 5 days, it's going to cost you $100 US. Or if you want to get it done in 2 hours, it's $500 US.
Amazing.
So we just had to wait at the airport for 2 hours, pay the extra money, and then we got into Vietnam.
Do you know, yesterday my husband shared a story where he was backpacking many years ago, and on a train they were going into the Czech Republic, and they hadn't got visas, him and a mate. And they're on this train. The guy says, where are your visas? All of the rest of the travelling party go here. He and one of his mates go, oh, we didn't think we needed visas. We're just passing through the country. They handbrake on the train, holding guns, tapped the door and threw them off the train in the middle of nowhere.
You are kidding me.
That's it, nothing. But thankfully one of the guys then leant down into his pocket, pulled out a wad of cash, back on the train, all good.
There it is. Cash is king. Elle's giving us a call from Balmain. Where did you get stuck on holidays, Elle?
Oh, my God, this is going to be sounding so boring now after your story. It's exactly what happened to us. We got into Hanoi no visa, and we were under house arrest in the motel. We had guards with guns out the front. We could not leave the motel until we did exactly. Oh, I'm feeling like it's such a boring story now after yours. It's exactly.
I don't know.
the
There's
same.
guys with guns. You're up
that's-
there.
We had guys with guns. If we wanted to go outside, like there was a cafe sort of thing outside, they had to stand with us. They walked us to the cafe next door, like to get some nasi goreng or whatever, and they were guards with guns. We were under house arrest for 3.5 days.
3.5 days.
3.5 days we couldn't leave the motel room except to going just to this coffee shop next door. But yeah, it was like we've got photographs with them after the third day. They were our besties. They had guns on us. We could not leave anywhere until these visas came through. And yeah, you're right. It cost us like $150 US.
Yeah. Nothing worse than going on holidays and getting stuck in a hotel room and you can't go and see the
so
sights.
Can't go anywhere.
Can't go
As
anywhere.
a guy who used to be, aren't you a trained travel agent, Fitz?
Yes, yeah.
Didn't know how to Google a visa for the country you're going to?
Pride's Business College 6-month course. I can't remember any of it. Diane's given us a call from St Clair. Where did you get stuck, Diane?
We actually got stuck in Tahiti. You think that's a lovely place to get stuck, but in the resort, beautiful, but in the actual airport, not. We've just done a beautiful holiday to Hawaii with a lot of friends and my ex-husband. This visa flew to New Zealand. We needed a $12 piece of paper, but we shouldn't have been able to even get out of Australia to start with. Yeah. But because you had to get this thing to go back through New Zealand, even though we weren't leaving the airport in New Zealand, we needed to get this paper. Tahiti, nothing, no internet connection. We're at the airport, and as soon as everyone flew off, we're stuck there, and the whole airport shuts down. So we were stuck there and had to find accommodation, which cost us $2,000 to get back.
Diane. So you're looking out from the airport, you can see the beautiful weather, the crystal clear water, but you just can't get out.
Couldn't get out. It was terrible. So that whole airport shuts down. As soon as our flight took off, we were stuck there and had to get back into the main. It is very, very scummy and terrible in the main part.
It's the worst. You know when you budget for a holiday and you say, this is how much we can spend.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a little bit more. We can get a better hotel at this spot. And you always have your budget. But when something like this happens and then you have to stay in a hotel room for a night for $2,000.
And you've skimped on the actual hotel for the holiday? Yeah, not
It's
cool.
Cheryl in Cronulla. Where did your husband get stuck, Cheryl?
Oh, hi, he got stuck in Tijuana.
Tijuana. Was he by himself or you with him, Cheryl?
No, he was by himself. He was in San Diego on business.
Yeah.
And so what do you do for the day off? And America said, you go down to Tijuana. He said, I need my passport.
Oh,
They
no.
said, no, just your driver's license. So
Come on.
drove him down,
Hey.
walked through it, fine. Hanging around for a while, said, I've had enough. Goes to get out, lines up, goes with his driver's license. What's that? He says, driver's license. Where from? Australia. I went, no.
Oh, you need your
So
passport.
how did he get out?
Well, he went to another line, right? I'll try someone else. Can't. Go over there to the visa office and booked over a room full of a lot of dodgy people, he said. But he managed to get a card off the driver.
Yeah.
So he phoned his hotel, said, here's my code to the safe. Here's the driver's name and number. Give him the passport, send him down. So he's waiting for a few hours in a bar drinking tequilas. And the driver turns up, throws his passport through the fence, and then he walks out, gets in the car, and the guy drives him back to San Diego.
This feels like a boys' trip that he didn't tell you about that went horribly wrong. Just to be clear, sitting in a bar with tequila and then the passport arrived.
Do you know what, Cheryl? That's not bad. I might use that on my wife. I brought my bought my driver's license and not my passport.
Convenient.
Love it. Let's go to Matty in Borkham Hills. Where did you get stuck in the world, Matt?
I was in Paris last week, and me and my wife were going to fly home to Sydney, and we got to the airport, and the airline staff wouldn't let us on because we were flying via Vietnam, and we didn't have a visa. And we thought, well, we're just going through the transit zone, so we don't need one. They said, nah, you need to get one. So we scrambled around, found the link that you guys were talking about with the urgent visa. You drop, $500 on it. And we said, send us on the flight, and the visa will be there by the time we get there. And they said no. So we got stuck in Paris for 24 hours, scrambled to book flights 24 hours later, put the urgent application in, rebooked the hotel. Went the next day. They said, yep, no worries. Here's some exit row seats for your trouble and send us on our way. But here's the kicker. We got to Vietnam. No one looked at the visas.
Oh,
That's heartbreaking.
You could have got away with it.
No one looked at it. And there was a desk next to the border control that said, here you can apply for your visas.
Oh, yeah, someone got you bad, Matty.
Oh,
Yeah, we
Matty.
got stung.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.